Good evening, YouTube. You guys are now watching another segment of the Cali Effect. Since you guys love the top 5 monsters, we're going to be continuing on our top 5 with the top 5 spell cards that were in this format. Now, obviously, we're going to be talking about the November format and the February adjusted format. So let's get down to it about the best spell cards of those two formats, or this format within the format within the... Look, let's just get into it, okay? Number 5 on this list has to be Twin Twister. Now, Twin Twister is an amazing card. Discarding one card from your hand to destroy up to 2 spell and trap cards on the field is probably the closest thing we'll have to a heavy storm. Why? Because if you look at the other cards that destroy cards on the side of the field, it's normally only one, like, you know, Mystical Space Typhoon, Twister. You know, those cards only destroy one and have like some type of restriction at very best. But Twin Twister allows us to destroy multiple. And it's actually really good at stopping pin scales because, you know, there's 2 pin scales and the opponent destroys 2 cards with Twin Twister. You see where I'm going? We're going 2-2-2, which is almost like 6-6-6. Oh my god, let's get out of here. Twin Twister's the devil. Twin Twister is a really awesome card, and it actually fuels a lot of combos. Decks like Burning Abyss can really benefit from Twin Twister because not only does it stop the opposition's back row or pin scales, it allows me to activate the effects of Burning Abyss monsters. And just because Burning Abyss, you know, has a good party with it, doesn't mean that decks like Pepe couldn't have took part of it too. Discarding, I don't know, Draco Rulers and all that other good stuff, you know, just to be able to summon that Masquemillion, to special summon it back, was pretty critical in a lot of games with Pepe and other decks alike to be able to get cards off. Twin Twister is just a really good, versatile spell and trap destruction card, and there's not much else to say about it. Number 4 on this list really started peeping its head at the end of the format, but I think it definitely could have made an impact at all phases of this format and actually has made some sort of it. The MONARCHs STORMFORTH. Now, the MONARCHs STORMFORTH allows you to tribute your opponent's monster. It allows you to tribute your opponent's monster. That automatically screams a lot of ban cards, such as Brain Control, Change of Heart, well, I mean, Snatch, Steal. I mean, it's only 3, but still. Those 3 cards, you know, a lot of times back in the formats that they were in, you would steal their monster and then tribute it, because that's how it worked. MONARCHs STORMFORTH essentially gives you that, allowing you to tribute your opponent's monster. And really the only drawback is I can't special summon from extra deck. More often than not, if you're tributing your opponent's monster, the damage of your opponent losing the monster and you gaining a monster is probably enough for you to push for enough damage anyways for game, or at the very least, put up a board where your opponent can't do things. The MONARCHs STORMFORTH is awesome because it doesn't target, though it can be affected by cards affected by Forbidden Lance. So for example, if my opponent has a monster, or multiple monsters on the field, and one of them is Forbidden Lance, I can't tribute that monster. But MONARCHs STORMFORTH doesn't really say I have to tribute a certain monster on activation. So if I do activate the MONARCHs STORMFORTH and the opponent's chains Forbidden Lance on one of their monsters, I can still tribute the other. Another great thing about MONARCHs STORMFORTH is that, you know, it gets over a lot of great pesky cards like Cosmo Dark Destroyer, Majesties and Vanity's Fiends. Oh man, those cards are just really annoying, and MONARCHs STORMFORTH is a very good out to those cards. Number 3 on this list is Clash of the Draco Rivals. I actually like that name better, but it's actually called in TCG Draco Face-Off. Now, what Draco Face-Off does is that you get to select one Draco Ruler and Draco Slayer card from your deck. Your opponent randomly selects one, and you can either place it in the pin zone or special summon it. This card has so much versatility, it's not even funny. Being able to special summon, I don't know, cards like Luster Pin from my deck, and, you know, have an extra monster in the Pendulum Zone just means there was so much potential from this card from the go. This card actually makes a lot of engines. There's Draco Pals, there's Draco Specters, there's Draco this, that. Basically, if you play a Pendulum deck, the Draco Rulers and the Draco Slayers probably could fit in your deck and make it a lot better. Being able to tutor cards like Luster Pin and Master Pendulum to your side of the field, ultimately leading to cards like Dynastor, Magister, and Ignister to your side of the field are, you know, not much to scuff at because they do a lot of damage in themselves. What's best about this card, and the reason why it's ranked so high up, is because this card will only get better with time. That's right, we only have 3 Luster and Draco cards. The more Draco cards that come out, the better this card will be. Number 2 on this list is actually the savior of Cyberdark Impact. Well, I mean, you know, Vanity's Fiend was really good in Cyberdark Impact, but this card has a bigger impact on the game, and probably one of the biggest impacts of a spell card of all time. We're going to be talking about Instant Fusion. Now what Instant Fusion does is you pay 1,000 life points, you either special summon a level 5 or lower fusion monster from your deck, treated as a fusion summon. And that's what's so awesome about this card, is because the best fusion in the game just so happens to be level 4. Elder Entity Norden. When it's special summoned or fusion summoned, I'm not 100% sure, it allows you to special summon a level 4 monster from your graveyard to your side of the field. This allows you for easy, very, very easy rank 4 plays. And if you guys did not know by now, rank 4s are probably the most generic and best ranks of all time in our era right now. Because, yeah, everybody likes Castell, Diamond Dire, King Crab, Giant Hands. I mean, who doesn't want to summon a free Crab King to the side of the field? Look at it! Look at it! It's 0 attack, all that bossiness. But in all seriousness, Instant Fusion allows you to get recovery from cards like, I don't know, Solemn Warning, Solemn Strike, Raigeki. You know, when your opponent just puts a monkey wrench in your plans, you go ahead and pay 1,000 life points, you can special summon your Norden, and then continue on with your plays. And that's what makes Instant Fusion such a great card, and also saves the horrible, horrible set of Cyber Dark Impact. Ugh. Before I get to number 1 on this list, there are quite a few cards that are worth mentioning that are spells. I like to call them honorable mentions. There are cards such as Forbidden Chalice, Pendulum Call, Emergency Teleport, Match Change 2, Raigeki, and a plethora of others that you guys can mention down below in the description that the Cali Effect just felt that they didn't make the cut over these 5. Number 1 on this list is Wavering, guys. Now, how did this card not make the list any sooner? Because it's obviously the best spell card of this format. And there's a pretty good synopsis to back it up. And the synopsis is, anytime you guys have a gentleman's agreement to take out a card from your deck, card's probably really busted. I mean, the last time I remember a gentleman's agreement, Patrick Holman wind up winning with the Wavering Eyes is a very critical card. And you know, activating it and resolving any of its effects past number 1 are really good. You know, being able to add a Pendulum monster from your deck, banish a card on the side of the field, and then add another Wavering Eyes. More often than not, when you activate this card with 4 Pendulum Scales on the field, you win the game because the opponent cannot recover from this card. It's a reason why this card, and it's, you know, played at 3 in almost every Pendulum deck that where it applies, is because it's an auto win against the opponent's Pendulum deck, and it brings a lot of consistency to your deck more often than not. Well, that's about it for the top 5 spells. I know you guys would love to compose your top 5 spells down below in the comments, and I would love to read them. Thank you guys so much for watching another segment of the Cali Effect. Please like, comment, subscribe, but most of all, enjoy.